Welcome to the all-new and remastered Complete Greek. For those of you that don't know, the language transfer project came to light in the divided capital of Cyprus, Nicosia, where I, Michalis, the founder of this project, began to make courses in Greek and Turkish to help unite the divided island of Cyprus. 5 years on, the methodology has grown immeasurably, which is why I wanted to remaster and re-record the Greek course, including in this course all of the developments in the methodology which have occurred over these past 4 or 5 years. If you already started the previous Greek courses that were online, you should still start this course from the beginning. Although a lot of the material or the content will be familiar to you, the outlook will be very different. This is a journey that's worth taking right from the beginning again. This new course will also address reading and writing in Greek. Now, for those of you that are not familiar with this way of learning, you're about to experience a new, although extremely natural way of learning that might make you question how you were taught to learn and the relationship you were made to have with learning and with information in most of our industrialized education systems. During this course, you will learn a great amount of Greek and a great amount about language. You will become your own teacher, able to analyze the language that you encounter around you and to use that to improve and to fill out your Greek. This course will be recorded with various volunteer students whilst the LT project travels around Europe developing complete Greek and complete German in open public workshops. So this course represents a real-life learning experience which is edited for your use. During the course, I'll explain something about Greek and how it works, then I'll ask you to build a sentence from what I've explained. It's extremely important that you pause, relax, take your time to think through your sentence and to say it out loud. You may feel a voice or an impulse trying to force you to spit out your answer quickly, and that's probably left over from school. We don't care about quick answers, and we definitely don't want automatic and memorized answers. What we want to do here is to take our time to think through our sentence, piece it together, and then say it out loud. And then unpause and listen to the follow-up. You will hear the student's response and my reply. It's very important also that you don't try to memorize during the course. You will exercise everything that you are learning through the sentences that you are creating and nothing else. All you need to worry about is building those sentences and concentrating and engaging actively with the audio, following the explanations and forming your own sentences. Enjoy the thinking process. Enjoy building your sentence. It's this very thinking process that is installing Greek in your mind. It's the thinking process, not the answer, that is the most important part of our experience together. We will think slowly to learn quickly. Don't try to actively memorize. Of course, you need to remember, but not through memorization. Memorization is the most inefficient way to remember. We will do many other things to make sure that we remember what we learn together. Just listen and make sure you understand the explanations. Don't worry about memorizing. Memorization is distracting, stressful, and very much inhibits our learning process. Don't worry about remembering words. Some you will forget, and that's normal and expected. There will be many tips throughout the course on how to find what you think you may have forgotten. Don't write. I know it's very tempting to write. The structure we create together in our minds is not very easy to reproduce on paper. Doing so, or trying to do so, will be very unhelpful. If you write words or structures down that we see during the course, you will be denying yourself of certain mental processes that are required for you to find and use those structures. What that means is that piece of paper that you write down on acts something like an external brain cell. When you don't have that, you might find it quite difficult to speak Greek. So please do not write. You can visualize, that's fine. And you will be helped in your visualization as I described throughout the course how letters look in Greek. But please don't write. It really does change everything and all of the mental processes that are necessary for us to learn a language in this exciting, exhilarating, and liberating way. This doesn't mean to demonize writing generally. reading and writing in a language that you are learning is a very good practice. As you can understand by now, this course is not something you should have in the background. It should be something that you engage with actively when you have energy to think, to concentrate, and to follow the explanations that are being given. Try to find a time in your day where you have both the calmness and the energy to relax and engage in this time that is for you. Do as much as the course as what feels exciting, and then take a break. When you start to get tired, when you make careless mistakes, it's time to take a break. There's no reason to push yourself or to force yourself. Learning is not about pain. Learning is about satiating curiosity, about having fun. Also, 10 to 20 minutes a day is much better than 4 or 5 hours crammed over the weekend. So just an audio or two a day will have a profound effect. The most important thing I can tell you is not to just listen and follow the audio. Always pause, think through your own answer before hearing the volunteer student's reply, and then continue. If you don't do this, everything will make sense, what you're listening to, you will follow, and it will be logical, but you will not be having your own learning experience. You will only be witnessing somebody else's learning experience. The learning experience is in the thinking, so you must do that yourself before you hear the volunteer student's reply. If it's been a while since you've engaged in active learning, don't worry, you will feel your concentration span increase very rapidly. It's also not necessary to memorize this advice. It will be revisited constantly during the course. As I mentioned, the language transfer project started in Cyprus, and since then, the project has grown beyond my wildest dreams thanks to the users. The LT project so far is not an organization, let's say, it is just the fruit of the collaboration between myself and you, the users of language transfer. The project is growing, and it would be impossible without both the volunteer collaborations of language transfer users and the financial support. The language transfer project is independent, unsponsored, unaffiliated, unfunded. This means that I maintain the freedom to create the best and most profound learning experiences without having to appease the promotional desires of funders, for example. If you love this course and the way the work is realized with the language transfer project, please consider joining the Patreon campaign, Patreon, that's patreon.com, patreon.com/language transfer, which is a monthly crowdfunding campaign to help keep me in the freedom to continue giving what I love to give freely. So please help support and shape language transfer, joining the Patreon campaign, where with your donation, you can also vote for the next language course to be created with the thinking method. Or, of course, you can make an occasional donation through the website www.languagetransfer.org. Thank you for joining us, and let's learn Greek.